Welcome back to another edition of Backstage Safari. I'm Matt Gebhardt.
And I'm Jacob Wallin.
And we're here with Stephanie, and we're about to go check out the Komodo Dragon. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right, so who is this magnificent looking creature?
This is Enum. He is our oldest Komodo dragon here at the zoo. He is 21 years old. Our youngest is in the herpetarium. He's only 6. So Enum is a little older. He does have arthritis, so he spends a lot of his time just laying down and sleeping. He did just get a fresh pile of mulch, so he's like, nice, soft, and cushiony. It's also there for him to dig. These guys are great diggers, and that's one of their favorite things to do is make a giant mess and dig up holes. And when they're young, like like Flint in our herpetarium, they spend a lot of time climbing. He's too old to climb and too big to climb. So when they're little, they spend time in the trees because these guys are cannibals and they will eat younger Komodo dragons.
Okay, so they're separated for a reason.
Yeah, so the younger ones spend time in the trees to avoid getting eaten by the big dragons. And these guys can take down water buffalo, so they're pretty strong.
Okay.
And they'll take down deer as well.
My goodness. All right, what is their diet here at the zoo?
Here they get a variety of things. So mostly, since he's on medication every 3 days, he does get smaller meals to make sure we don't make him fat by overfeeding him. So he'll get some chickens, mice, quail. He had a couple mice earlier, and that was more of a scent enrichment for him, so he would move around a little more. As it gets older, they don't want to walk around as much, so we kind of have to encourage him to do more movement. So we'll scent his exhibit with food and kind of spread little mice around for him to go hunt. So sometimes we'll bury it too to make sure he's using his scent smell. That way he'll dig up his food as well.
Okay.
And these guys can smell up to 2.5 miles for food. So he does have a really good sense of smell. Sometimes he's just being lazy.
So they're as good a predator as they look.
Yes, they have extremely razor sharp teeth. So, and they're venomous as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
So these guys were believed to have toxic bacteria in their mouth, and that was already debunked. These guys are all monitored lizards are actually venomous. So the reason they can take down prey is because of their venomous bite. It actually keeps your blood from clotting. So essentially you bleed out, or it'll lower your blood pressure as well. So you'll just kind of go into shock. So when they bite an animal, they don't have to really chase them down too much. They just kind of have to wait for them to kind of collapse and then they'll eat. So these guys aren't too social, but if one manages to take down, sometimes they'll work together to take down water buffalo and then kind of all gorge on that one big food item. And they'll eat about 80% of their body weight. So they'll fill up really nice and full until their bellies are dragging on the floor.
And then take a big nap?
Yep, and then they'll sleep for about a month.
All right. Really, a month?
So these guys can go about a month and a half without food as long as they're big and healthy. So their tail kind of works like a camel's tail would work, where they'll store a lot of fat. And that's what they'll use in case there isn't food available for them to find.
And where in the world are these native to?
These guys are off Indonesia. So there's a couple different islands. So these guys are found on 5 islands. And they're on, there's a reserve, the Komodo Dragon reserves, and it's 4 islands. But they're found on a 5th island as well. But there isn't too many in the wild. I believe there's about 2,500 left in the wild. So
this
they
is
are
endangered?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Well, usually with that comes conservation processes and programs. What do you guys do here at the zoo to take part
So
in that?
AZA facilities have SSPs, which is species survival plans, where our dragons are kind of moved around to ensure they're being bred in captivity so they don't die completely. If they happen to go extinct in the wild, at least there'll be some still in zoos and facilities. In the wild, though, the Komodo Islands do have programs going on to help these species, and a lot of it has to do with tourism, to encourage people to come check them out in the wild, which kind of puts money back into the islands and helps the native people who live there. So if you visit, you do better to book with a reputable company so that the funds actually help the dragons and it's not just someone trying to poach.
Yeah. And earlier, before the cameras were rolling, you were mentioning that they lay eggs and can kind of create their own families.
Yeah, so these guys females are parthenogenic, so that means they can lay eggs without a male. So the eggs, they've self-fertilized basically their eggs, and that's done in case a female can't find a mate in the wild. She'll basically lay her own, breed her own males. All the babies will be males. And then she could essentially breed with her offspring, or so she has a chance to wait for another male to come around.
Okay. Are there are there concerns for cannibalism among their own kids? Do they
Yes,
discriminate?
they
Yep,
don't
absolutely.
discriminate.
Okay.
Females will lay their eggs, bury them, and then that is it. They'll walk away and they're on their own. So essentially, they'll are born and they'll kind of go straight into the trees because that's where it's safe.
Gotcha. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on in this exhibit. Can you walk us through what we're looking at and why different things are here?
So if you look to the back, you'll see these two heaters on top. So these guys do like it pretty hot. So it's about 140 degrees back there. So whenever he's ready to kind of bask, he'll go sit back there to get nice and hot. He also has a shift outside in the summertime, so he can go get natural sunlight.
And
So
that's that little door here?
yeah, so if it's warmer outside, he'll go outside. But his exhibit itself is about 90 degrees, 95 degrees right now. So he kind of wants to just hang out inside in his little mulch pile.
Yeah, and then I'm assuming during the winter he spends a lot of time up underneath the lamp.
Yeah, so in the wintertime, he doesn't have access outside unless it's over 68 degrees. And then we'll let him, and sunny. So then he'll have access to go bask if he wants to.
Is that the temperature that it gets too cold for them to be outside?
Yeah, so inside they have to come inside if it's under 68. And
68 actually doesn't sound like it's that cold.
Yeah.
So they really need the warm weather then.
Yes,
huh?
they need pretty hot weather. That's why he has the option to get up to 140 degrees in here.
Okay.
And he also has another shift on the other side of this door, and that's his inside holding, and that does have heated floors, so we'll give him access to that in the wintertime as well if he wants to go lay on that.
And then what's over here? Can we walk over here and take a look at this? Is this a pool?
Yep, so these guys are excellent swimmers, so he does have a big giant pool to soak in if he wants to. He does spend some time there in the summer when it does get extra hot here in Texas. So you'll see him kind of just soaking in this pool when it's pretty hot out here.
Yeah. See a fan favorite?
Yep, monitors are one of, I think, people's favorite animals because they're more dynamic and they have more personality. And them and are probably our big anaconda.
So you were saying that that he's a little bit older, starting to kind of get some wear and tear on the joints, but can get pretty active around feeding time. What's that experience like?
Yeah, so our vet monitors him for his arthritis, so he does get medication every 3 days. So during feeding time, he does definitely get more active because there's food around. So that's kind of the only way to motivate him to kind of move is to provide food or heating spots. So he'll move over to any heating spots he might have available. But other than that, he prefers to lay down and sleep and bask. The majority of their morning time would be basking to get their core temperature up. And once midday comes, they're a little more active. So at least the younger one. He's a little older, so he just kind of likes to hang around and just sleep.
So when, if ever, does the other one that's in the herpetarium, does that ever, is he ever going to get time in this as well?
So he'll move into this exhibit whenever Enum passes.
Okay.
So he's still really small and he would kind of just disappear in here.
Oh,
because
okay.
he's very small. So he'd probably climb up one of these tree branches and no one would ever see him. So he's going to be over there until he gets probably at least twice the size he is right now.
Okay. What are some of the most common questions zoo visitors ask about the lizards?
Most common one is probably, does he breathe fire? No, he does not. He's not a real mythical dragon.
Yeah.
But they do have strong jaws and they have that big giant tail as well. So you don't want to get hit by that. It'd probably knock you down.
Well, very cool. Well, thank you so much for showing us and telling us all about this magnificent animal.
Yeah, of course.
Are they fast? Are they like?
Yeah, these guys can run up to 12 miles an hour. So if you're running from one, you better have your running shoes on. When they want to run, they can. You could probably outrun him because if you look at his joints, he kind of has like a rotating back joint, so it's hard for him to run. So you could probably outrun Enum, but in the wild, if one wanted to grab you, I hope you can run, and they can climb trees. So.
You better be with someone slower than you.
They could swim extremely well, so going in the water will actually not help you either. So just hopefully they tire out. It's mostly a short burst of really high speed. So if you can keep up your stamina, you probably get away from one.
All right.
But these guys will eat humans if they come available.
Well, that is terrifying.
Yes. Believe in some areas in Indonesia, some cultures actually offered they're dead too, the Komodo dragons. Yeah, as he walks, you can see he has trouble walking. Yeah. It doesn't stop him from eating and kind of doing his normal routine. So for now, we're just monitoring his health. And then eventually, if he gets slower, stops eating, then we'll probably talk quality of life with our vet staff. He's like, you tricked me. You want to come over here? Come here. It's like there's no food. That looks like a mouse.
I don't imagine these are ones you could call over like a dog or something.
They know their names. They just choose not to listen.
It's more like a cat then.
Yeah. You'll see them look at you when you call them, and then they're like, yeah, no, thank you. Oh, don't fall in your pool. Uh-oh.
It's like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see those giant claws. These guys are excellent diggers.
And how old did you say he was again?
He's 21.
20.
These guys will live about 30 years in captivity.
Okay.
I think average is like 24.
What is their searching for the right word? They're above the food chain on them. Like, do they have any natural predators?
Themselves, that's about it.
Really?
They're top of the food chain. And these guys, there's still debates on whether these guys are part of gigantism, which is what happens in islands. So like the Galapagos is huge. So a lot of times animals will either dwarf or become giants. They believe they found a bigger dragon in Australia. So they think Komodo dragons actually are dwarfs of the biggest dragon instead of the gigantic version of.
Leave it to Australia.
Yeah, they're not sure yet though. It's still being debated whether they're either giants or dwarfs. But they are the biggest lizard in the world. Yeah. Males can get about 10 feet, so he's pretty small for a male. And they'll get about, some males can get like 300 pounds.
Yeesh.
So average, I think, for a good sized male is about 150. So he's still pretty small for a male.
Well, again, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cool.